Alphamon returns with BT13, Booster vs Royal Knights. This archetype saw explosive plays in BT9, and even partway through BT10 until BT7 Dorugreymon was restricted. This was one cornerstone piece that not only this deck relied on, but Dex Dorugreymon decks as well. For this episode, I go over the card by card of my recommendations with the deck, discuss my thoughts with Ultimate Cup, and go over sample combos and critical cards that can make or break your turns. Let's get to it! This deck runs 4 level 2s, 13 level 3s, 11 level 4s, 8 level 5s, 7 level 6s, 2 level 7s, 3 option cards, and 6 tamers. For level 2s, you run strictly Dorugreymon from BT7. This card is the ultimate egg in the deck for the amount of slotting you can do, whether it be from Digivolving or end of your turn. You could utilize the new BT13 Dorugreymon, but as I mentioned in the archetype video, I do think this is more dependent on you attacking, which for this deck, you want to build one big stack and go all in. Otherwise, I don't suggest any other egg at this time. Level 3 wise, I'm recommending 4 Dorugreymon from BT7, 4 Ouryuken from BT8, 3 BT9 Dorugreymon, and 2 Chikurimon. First off, you must respect Yggdrasil and the Royal Knights. Not to mention, cross decks still exist and Chikurimon is one of few ways to stop it. But for the rest of the options, I went with 3 BT9 Dorugremons for finding your pieces by dumping others. At times you might want to pitch ouryuken in order to dig deeper to find Alphamon or Alphamon ouryuken. Ouryuken and Dorugreymon though are simply searchers for your pieces, X-Antibody, or even tamers. Though my variant does not run Kota Domato. Substitution wise, you could say screw Chikurimon and even reduce the BT9 Dorugremons to make room for 4 Sonorizamons for the aggro factor. However, this Digimon is not an X-Antibody, meaning he gets bottom decked every time. The level 4s and level 5s are what really make Alphamon more amazing with this set. Dorugreymon, as I mentioned in my archetype review video for Alphamon and Jesmon, returns in BT13 as a Digimon with identical stats and inheritables as its BT7 counterpart. However, the main difference is there's no opponent's turn where while you have another Digimon with X-Antibody in its traits, the variant gains blocker. The newest one doesn't give you blocker, but the best thing about it is it costs only 4 memory. If you want a memory choke, it is a very viable option. Dex Dorugreymon is also typical, giving you blocker and retaliation if you have Dorugreymon in the Digivolution sources. Level 5 wise, you have a new Dorugreymon. Thank you Bandai. When Digivolving, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 Digimon with X-Antibody from among them, and place it under this Digimon's Digivolution sources as the bottom source. If you do, this Digimon's DP cannot be reduced, which is really good in the Shine Greymon matchup. Then you trash the rest of the cards. The end of turn effect though, once per turn, hilariously lets you place an X-Antibody Digimon from your hand, meaning you could potentially slip ouryuken or another Digimon underneath it and maybe gain a memory back to pass the turn, or even choke them to 1 memory. Better yet with ouryuken, use that even gain memory back effect to keep it your turn and go for another check. And again, Dex Dorugreymon for the extra climb, and deleting one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. But of course, it wouldn't be Alphamon without Alphamon and ouryuken. This variant has tested the new BT13 Alphamon, a Digimon that protects itself from deletion and bounce, but loses out to DP reduction and de-Digivolve. Also, when you would Digivolve into this Digimon, you may place a Digimon with X-Antibody or Royal Knight in its traits from your trash under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Until the end of your opponent's turn, your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 10 or more cannot attack. Raid War Greymon? Nah, get out of here! However, when your opponent's Digimon attacks, if they are play cost 9, and then Digivolve into a Digimon with play cost of 10 or more, the attack will resolve because the attack was declared by the play cost 9. ouryuken adds that extra attack with its end of attack if this Digimon has Alphamon in its name. Unsuspend it. BT9 Alphamon is my preference because I want to de-Digivolve. You could run BT6 Alphamon, but I just find the security situational. And of course, no Alphamon deck would be complete without Alphamon ouryuken mode. This Digimon can rewind the memory to your turn. So you attacked with Alphamon and unsuspend at the end of attack with Ouryumon. You end your turn by digivolving into Alphamon ouryuken. Oh wait, what's that? Your turn? No. Our turn. I'll trigger end of turn effects with Dorugreymon to slot another Ouryumon, then bottom deck the already used one and the other useless no inheritable X antibody Digimon to make it my turn again. Then I'll attack and unsuspend at the end of attack. Heck yeah. With options, I chose Congo, because some decks can build wide very fast. Are they common? Not necessarily. And of course, 2 black memory boosts to add any Digimon from the deck. While true I lose out on Tamers, I do think either Tamer or Memory Boost will provide the extra memory you need to go off. Tamer-wise, I opted not to run Kota D'Amato and instead go with Yuji Messiah for slotting Ouryumons and drawing more cards at the beginning of my turn, or Cool Boys to gain extra memory and draw a card when I digivolve into my deck's variants. Ultimate Cup-wise, because decks tend to be more aggressive, I do swap to the Sonorizomon variant along with using black memory boosts. A single Kota D'Amato and keeping the 3 Yuji Messiahs in play. Keep in mind with Ultimate Cups, a lot of changes are happening with the upcoming restrictions. Greymon is much too slow with 1 Marcus Daemon, and of course you gut Machinedramon by limiting Analog Man to 1. But these changes also means that Ultimate Cup is fairly unexplored, and I personally think Alphamon has a shot at taking out Bloom Lordmon, even though they do get a few goodies to work with, especially with the new Rosemon Burst Mode support. Combo-wise, an ideal hand for this deck would literally be opening up with Dorumon from BT7, and any Searcher, Memory Boost, or Tamer. My reasoning for this is, if you're going first, you can digivolve into Dorumon and immediately play the Searcher, or Tamer, which can search out pretty much anything in your deck. Assuming the rest of your hand contains pieces that you can readily climb up, or advantageously use, the rest is pretty simple. Going into Dorugreymon for 2, then Dex evolving into Dex Dorugreymon, you can now reclaim a memory with Dex Dorugremon's effect by trashing a card. If you have your Dorugreymon, you can now slot a card to gain another memory and prevent BP reduction. Against the Greymon matchup, this is the best one. But in regards to deletion protection, you'll need the OG variant. Ideally though, I'd probably sit in the Rays until I go into full Alphamon combo, because when you digivolve into Alphamon, this is where you can potentially maintain turn by slotting a Dorumon, gaining you a memory, and then Alphamon attacks and is pretty much protection against everything. End of attack, unsuspend. As I mentioned previously, Alphamon ouryuken would be able to return cards that have already been used, while the new Dorugreymon can slot an Ouryumon from hand to give a second attack. Ouryuken attacks, then end of attack you unsuspend once again. Generally speaking, this deck has a lot of great memory control. If your opponent can't put out a memory fixer or memory boost out, this deck can make it very hard for them to counter. But what are your thoughts? Which variant do you like more? Or will you be mixing Sonorizomon in for the extra aggression, and opt out of Chikurimon as the just in case? Let me know your thoughts as BT13 descends upon us this weekend, and I'll be testing more decks for you to enjoy. This is Digi-Panda, logging out.